What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about Star Wars Maul, Shadow Lord, Season 1, Episode 5. The show does have audio description. It's deluxe, narrated by Dave Wallace, and I've been recapping the show thus far, so I decided to continue with it, because that's how that goes with it. This episode is titled Inquisition, which I thought was interesting. And this is where things could have gotten darker and more interesting and more adult, but it steps around it a little bit. So we sort of open on the arrival of the Empire, which is where we left off in episode 4. And Lawson is still pissed at Two Boots, and so is his boss. And they're worried about what does this mean for everybody? What does this mean? And when we see the Empire arrive, there's obviously some sniveling evildoer who comes in to lead the investigation, who reads like he's a villain, and takes Lawson's boss in for questioning first, even though she didn't really have anything to do with any of this. It's funny because she makes some comment to Lawson. She's like, it's not like we were harboring Jedi. And Lawson has this, expression like, about that. So, she gets taken away. Lawson and Two Boots end up having this conversation where Two Boots is just oblivious to anything. And he's like, that's okay. I've already forgiven you for having deprogrammed me without my permission. And Lawson's like, no, that's not the problem here. Do you really think the Empire is going to leave after they're done? I don't have enough information to be able to answer that question. And so within Lawson's storyline, his boss never returns, and it's strongly suggested as being sent off to, I don't know, experience worse things. And so the sniveling son of a bitch comes back and takes Lawson away, and for questioning, which we don't get to see the questioning. And that's where I think the show is like, you know what, guys, we're doing TVPG, not TV-14 or TVMA, so why don't we just keep it TVPG? So we don't actually get to see the interrogation of the kinds of questions that are being asked. We will end up seeing the fact that while Lawson is inside of his interrogation, that his son Riley ends up showing up and runs in, and Two Boots is like, I can't let you in. And he's, what's up with my dad? Where's my dad? What are you, Two Boots, what are you talking about? Like, you've known me since I was a kid. What do you, this is, trying to talk to an android, but then the stimulating little bitch comes over and says something about, like, why is a civilian back here? And, Two Boots explains it, and he didn't give a shit. So he's just like, get him out of here. So Riley is sent away, and these aren't Jedi names. Riley is sent away and calls his mom, who works for the Empire, and says, what's up? And his mom tries to reassure him, and I'm like, what are you doing as a mom? Do you talk to Riley a lot? Like, how does this relationship work when you're off somewhere with the Empire? Do you get to visit your kid a lot, or is it just, are anyway? So she's just kind of nonplussed about the thing, and I'm sure she has drank the Kool-Aid of the Empire. We won't see Riley again until the end, which I'll get back to because I can tie that all into somebody else's story. But Lawson will survive the interview, and he'll go get his coffee and his blaster back, and he doesn't get shipped off like his boss did. So, um, the Jedi, how Devin and Eco are doing is they are worried as the Empire is coming in. Eco's still a little wounded, so they kind of run away to try to hide, but they end up getting kind of found, and they are being chased by um, stormtroopers. Now, the one thing that I liked is that Eco does the Jedi mind trick on a stormtrooper and gets them let through a checkpoint. And this is kind of a gag on, I feel like, people who thought that when Obi-Wan does it in the movie that it's just too simple. So like he does it on this stormtrooper, and so they get through, but immediately the stormtrooper's like partner or boss or whatever turns to him and goes, "Why did you let those people through without a and he's like, because they had clearance to and then they realize, I guess he realized he was Jedi mind tricked. So then they pursue chase. So Eco probably should have mind tricked more than one person. So anyway, they're seen like jumping over like subway trains and stuff to try to get out of there, and eventually they're gonna be able to get away from the stormtroopers, and they get to a place, and they're gonna have to hide, and they're like, where do we hide? The Empire, all we need is one place. We just need one person, one place. So Jules and Eco, Devin and Eco go to hide with Riley and Lawson. So when Lawson returns home, Riley is already there with Jules. Oh my God, Devin and Eco. Devin and Eco. So that's how their story ends. Meanwhile, Maul is mostly nonplussed about the whole thing. The smuggler that he was working with is worried. He's like, well, now I can't smuggle anything, so how does this benefit me? And Maul's like, you're alive. And smuggler's like, blah. And Maul's like, you're free to go anytime you want, but the smuggler decides to stay there anyway. Maul's, I want to say second in command, catches some Mandalorian who are talking about, they're like, well, if we can't do this, then what is it even? And gets, shoots them some crap and gets them back in line. Maul has his leg repaired, and that's about it for this episode. He doesn't have any super cool sequences. They do focus in on his yellow eyes again, though. They've been doing that a lot in every single episode. They're like, yellow eyes. Check out Maul's eyes, guys. It's super cool in here. You can get lost in his eyes. So yeah, the Empire's here now, and they're here to stay. And how is that going to affect Maul? He does have a little spy bot thing. I forgot that. He sends that out so they can watch the Empire, and then it comes back home to him. I love how they made the spy bot, which doesn't really make any noises except like little, beepy blurpy noises, but they still somehow made it sound evil. Like they made it sound like it was an evil little like it's the way that it's like maneuvering through makes it sound like it's a villain robot, even though it sounds should just be like responsive droid sounds. So I thought that was clever. Anyway, this is, if you saw The Secret Agent, this is the next thing with Wagner Moore in it that you saw right after his Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. How do you feel? Is this living up to your expectations for his career? Anyway, I like the show. But I do kind of feel like it dodged a narrative bullet with skipping over the actual Inquisition part of the title of the show. I wouldn't bother pointing it out if it wasn't for the fact that they titled the show Inquisition. So when the Inquisition happens largely off camera because you're TVPG and you want to insinuate the fact that the Inquisition is harsher in nature, I just think it's kind of a cop out. That's just me though. So um yeah. It's, it's food for thought. Anyway, I would have preferred to see some of it instead of, none of the first one and then cutting to the end of the second one with Lawson. So that's it. I'll watch episode 6 and recap that and see you guys on the other side. May the Force be with you.